Hi students, welcome all to Om Institute. And yes, GATE 2026 examination is now coming closer. So, there might be both the category of aspirants. What I mean is some aspirants prepared aptitude, some are not prepared, maybe planning to leave it or planning to prepare at the end. Okay, if your basic math is okay, it's not a big headache aptitude. You can anyway score, but it's something not to be neglected because of the weightage it has 15 marks. So whatever your status is, okay, maybe you have prepared, maybe you have not prepared, but say approximately 3 months or little less than that left for the examination. Okay, and suppose if you attempt 10 questions, like the exam pattern, 10 questions which come up for 15 marks, how much are you able to score right now? Okay, because even if you have, say not prepared, and if you are confident that you can directly go to the exam without aptitude preparation, then you should be able to score in this session. Okay, so this session, based on what you score, can be used as an analysis of yourself, like whether how much of the extra efforts you need to put to aptitude or whether you don't need to put. But let me tell you, you should actually score. By chance, if you are not able to score in this session, okay, then definitely wherever you are lagging or which areas you lagged, you definitely need to prepare, because this 15 marks can be easily gathered. If you are not able to gather right now, time is there. Okay, but this 15 marks is easily gatherable, and let me tell you, GATE is an examination of total 100 marks and no sectional cutoff. You have to maximize your marks out of 100. Okay, and this is one area where you can easily maximize. If you are not able to maximize now, okay, little bit efforts can make you maximize it. Okay, so that's what is the message, because the paper level that I'm taking will be on a moderate level, not very easy, not very difficult, also moderate type of questions, mixtures. Okay, some easy to difficult questions. Okay, as per the pattern, 10 questions totaling to 15 marks will be discussed. 5 questions of 1 mark, 5 questions of 2 marks. Okay. Now, negative marking, of course, 1/3 for 1 mark question, 2/3 for a 2 mark MCQ question. No negative for M8, NAT or MS2 question. But as far as the pattern of GATE exam is seen, they don't say officially, but as far as the pattern is seen in aptitude, they are putting up MCQ questions only. Okay, and all the categories of the examination, like quantitative aptitude, analytical aptitude, spatial aptitude, and verbal ability, I think it has gone down. That also has been taken into consideration while discussing these 10 questions. Okay. All right. So let us get started here. Let us get started. And the first question for you is coming up on the screen. Okay. What I suggest is, of course, the first 5 questions is 1 mark. Okay. So this automatically becomes 1 mark. The first 5 questions in sequence will be 1 mark. What I suggest is, if you believe that you can solve the question, pause the video. Okay. Try it on your own. Okay. By the time I will complete, and you can match the answer. If your answer doesn't match, you can, check the solution. I also suggest keep a track of your marks. If you get it right, +1. If you don't get it right, -1/3. Or if you don't attempt it, what is there? You put it 0. Okay, so that at the end you can see what your total score is right now. Okay, so the first question: in a kilometer race, A beats B by 40 meters or by 5 seconds. What is the time taken by A over the course? Simple one only. See. Okay, now. Okay, suppose, in the 1 kilometer race, this is the start point and this is the end point. This is total 1 kilometer or 1000 meters. Okay, A reaches here. A wins. Okay, A beats, A wins. So A reaches the end point earlier. Okay, but A beats B by how much? By 40 meters. That means, okay, where would be B right now? Okay, 40 meters short. Or by 5 seconds. Two conditions are given. A beats by 5 seconds. That means, okay, if B had 5 more seconds, okay, then the B would have reached the end point. Okay, A completed 5 seconds before B. That is what is the intent of the language. Okay, that is what is the intent of the language. So B covers this 40 meters. B covers this 40 meters in 5 seconds. Let us see with respect to B. Okay, B 40 meters 5 seconds. Okay, so if B had to finish entire 1000 meter, how much time would it take? Entire 1000 meters. So simply, for every 1 meter, time required is 5/40. So for 1000 meter, 5/40 into 1000. Okay. So this is going to be how much? 500/4. That is 125 seconds. So B finishes entire kilometer in 125 seconds. So A finishes in how much? A wins by 5 seconds. Now A finishes 5 seconds early. So A would have finished in 120 seconds, which is nothing but 2 minutes. That's the simple logic of solving the question. Answer is option number B, 2 minutes. Okay, hope you have understood this. Okay, option number B, 2 minutes is the very correct answer. Okay, right. Next question here. What is the next term in the sequence? Come on, everybody please attempt this. Easy one only. Okay, basic logic you have to find out. Okay, logical series it is. Okay, let's do it. Okay, what is the next term of 61, 68, 82, 92? Right. 61, 68, 82, 92. Okay, now you see, if you think in terms of addition, okay, you will see that, okay, it is plus 7, then suddenly plus 14, then plus 10. Okay, what is the pattern? 7, 14 and 10. I don't think that it makes a pattern. Okay, but if you observe, 7 is added 61. Okay, 61, the sum of the digits is 7 and 61 plus 7 is 68. Now 68, what is added? 14, because the sum of the digits is 14 and then I get 82. Similarly 82, okay, plus what is added? 10, because 8 plus 2 is 10 and then we obtain 92. So similarly, what should be the next number in the sequence? 92. What should be added? What should be added is 9 plus 2, which is 11. Okay, 11, 92 plus 11 is 103. Is 103. Option number D. Option number D. Okay, all right. Hope you have got it. Next one, number 3rd. Two statements have been given. A syllogism, logical deduction based, a very frequently asked question. Two statements have been given and these are followed by two conclusions, okay, that are based on them. Okay, these are the two statements, number 1, number 2, and these are the two conclusions already numbered 1 and 2. Okay, consider the statements to be true. Okay, in all such questions, whatever the statement, even if they talk rubbish, you have to accept it as true. Okay, so suppose this is some information. Based on this statement information, which conclusion logically follows? Okay, this is what decision making capability is being tested here. Okay, some pots are bottles and all bottles are big. Okay, so in syllogism questions, what do we do actually is, okay, some pots, so see, suppose these are pots. Okay, we usually solve it using Venn diagram. Okay, some pots are bottles. Okay, and suppose these are bottles. Okay, these are bottles. Okay, so some of the pots, not all, but some of the pots are also bottles. So they have something in common. Okay, I can say vice versa also. Some bottles are pots. Then all bottles are big. All bottles are big. Okay, there can be so many big things, but all bottles are big. Okay, all bottles are big. Suppose if I tell you like this, all pen, although this is a digital pen, but assume it if it is an inked pen, what will I say? All ink are stationary. There are so many items in stationery. Okay, pen is there, okay, a pencil is there, eraser is there, notebook is there, and etc. Okay, but all pen are of course counted as stationary. Okay, so what will I do? I will show, suppose this is stationary, superset, pen will come inside it, right? Similarly, all bottles are big. So suppose these are big items. There can be so many big items, right? Bottles are big. So, okay, the bottles inside bigs. Okay, so whenever I say all A are B, A is inside B, A is a part of B. Okay, now based on the two statements, my Venn diagram is ready. Now let us see the conclusion. Some pots are bigs. Now see, some pots are definitely bottles and every bottle is big. Okay, so definitely some pots are also big. Not all but some, at least these pots are big. Okay, then no bottle is a pot. Wrong, na? If some pots are bottle, look into this common portion, dear. Look into this common portion. So some bottles are also pots. So no bottle is a pot. This is wrong. Okay, so only A follows. Okay, only one follows. I think it should not be A. Of course, it is understood. Okay, only one follows. I will write it this way. Okay, one. Okay, only two follows. Okay, neither one nor two follows. Let me rectify the option and both 1 and 2 follow. I'll put it this way. Okay, right. Okay, the option number A. The first conclusion follows, second doesn't follow. Hope it is clear to you. Okay, what is there? Let's go to the next question then. Okay, a DI, okay, based on table and a bar graph. The bar graph, don't worry, I have taken a bigger picture also of the bar graph. I'll show you if it is not much clear because the data is also in the same slide. The bar graph given below shows the number of valid vote. Okay, bar graph is showing the number of valid voters of 4 different cities. Okay, A, B, C, D. The table given below shows the ratio of number of, okay, now table is showing the ratio of number of valid voters to invalid voters in these 4 cities. if the number of valid votes in the city E, now there is another city E whose data has to be extracted from the given one. Okay, if the number of valid voters in city E is 25% more than that in city D. Okay, so now let us come to this bar graph. This is the D. Okay, and if you look into it very carefully, okay, this mark is 1400 and this is the actual data for D. Okay, so now see, between 1400 to 1600, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1600 is fifth line. So 200 by 5, 40. So this should be 1440, 40 above 4, So every, spacing, every reading is 40 units away, I can say. Okay, so city D, these are the valid voters only. The valid voters in city D is 1440. Okay, so the number of valid voters in E is 25% more than that in D. Okay, so if I want to write down the data for E, okay, how many valid voters? Okay, 25% more. Okay, that means 1.25 times that in D, 1440. Okay, 1440. Okay, you'll complete this calculation and it will turn out to be and another, okay, another 5, yeah, 1800. Okay, now next, what is next? This is E valid voters and the number of invalid voters in city E is double that of city B. Okay, now invalid voters in B. Okay, let us come to B. Okay, let us come to this B. Okay, B. The bar of B is exactly at 800. Okay, exactly at 800. Now 800 are the valid voters in B. Okay, 800 are the valid voters in B. Okay, let me write it here. B valid voters is 800. But the table shows that in the city B, valid is to invalid voters are in the ratio 4:1. Okay, so for city B, valid is to invalid is in the ratio 4:1. So how much will be invalid? How many will be invalid? Okay, valid by 4. Okay, that will be 800 by 4, 200. And in the city E, the invalid voters are double that of city B. So double of 200, that is 400. Okay, so how many are the total voters in the city E? 18 plus 4, 2200. Okay, match your answer if you have solved right now. Option number B, 2200. Okay. Option number B, that is 2200. Hello. Yeah, I think that is fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, so moving ahead to the next one, what is there? Fifth. Okay, so of course I've included questions from verbal as well. Okay, so this is a basic say statement completion. Okay, on the basic knowledge of vocab, of course. Okay, 1 mark question. Choose the most appropriate word from the options given below to complete the following sentence. His rather casual remarks on politics dash his lack of seriousness about the subject. Dash his lack of seriousness about the subjects. Okay, again, you can pause the video, you can think and you can place the answer here. Okay, his rather casual remarks, he casually spoke something on politics. Okay, and that has dash his lack of seriousness about the subject. So, that has betrayed. The correct answer for this one is betrayed. What is betrayed? Betrayed is in a way revealing something unintentionally. Revealed unintentionally. Okay, right. He doesn't have much knowledge about the subject, or he's not that serious of the subject. So he casually started speaking, but because he casually started, maybe he has done some wrong comments or what. Okay, and that has unintentionally revealed, okay, his lack of seriousness about the subject. Okay, so he didn't want to reveal, he was just making some remarks, but unintentionally, okay, something has been revealed. That is what is the meaning of betrayed. Okay, that is what is the meaning of betrayed. Okay, right. Next. Okay, now we start 2 mark questions. Okay, now we started 2 mark question. So this was 1 mark. I'll write down here as well. This was also 1 mark. Anyways, I told you first 5 questions are 1 mark only. This is also 1 mark. Number 3, number 4 is also 1 mark. Correct. And this number 5 is also 1 mark. Okay, number 6, of course, 2 marks question. Okay. Deduction, passage based deduction. Okay, so I have taken total 3 marks for verbal. That is what is happening. Verbal usually now 3 to 4 marks, sometimes even 2 marks. It's not having very huge weightage also. Okay, so 1 question of 1 mark and another question of 2 marks. Okay, one of the legacies of Roman legions was discipline. In the legions, military law prevailed and discipline was brutal. Okay, discipline on the battlefield kept units obedient, okay, intact and fighting, even when the odds and conditions were against them. Even if the situations are not favorable, okay, they were obedient, intact and still fighting on the field because of the very important thing, discipline that they have. Okay, which of the following statement best sums up the meaning of the above passage? Okay, thorough regimentation was the main reason for the efficiency of the Roman legions, even in adverse, unfavorable, okay, even in bad circumstances, okay, they were efficient because they were obedient, intact, and they were still fighting. Why? Thorough regimentation. This first statement itself is correct. I would say thorough regimentation means something like which is very properly organized, completely thoroughly organized. Okay, so that is the correct answer. The legions were treated inhumanly as if the men were animals. No, there's nothing like they were treated inhumanly. They were, okay, made so, they were taught so that they are disciplined. And anyways, discipline is always a very good thing in anybody's life. Okay, so there is nothing called, inhumanly in the above passage. Okay, discipline was the army's inheritance from their seniors. No, there is nothing mentioned about the seniors or something like that. Okay, it has not been inherited. Okay, it is the culture, it is the principles, it is the teachings that is happening inside the organization. Okay, that is making them disciplined. The harsh discipline to which the legions were subjected to led to the odds and conditions against them. No. What the statement even told that even if the conditions are against them, they are still, obedient and still fighting. Okay, so no. Discipline has not been described as harsh, rather discipline has been described as a positive thing here. Okay, so A is the correct thing that can be summed up. Okay, that best sums up the meaning of the above passage. Okay, is option number A. Next one. All right. Okay, 2-mark question. Now see, sometimes that is what, it's a fundamental question only, but in sometimes you'll have to spend time to read 2 questions and come to the conclusions. Don't give up just by looking into the length of the question. Okay, pause the video, take your time, solve it up, come up with the correct answer. Okay, if you have the patience to read each and every statement, you are going to get the answer of this. In a group, there are 100 people and each one likes at least one of the 3 activities: reading, writing, singing, and total 100 people are there. Okay, so you can divide the 100 into 3 parts again by using Venn diagram. The number of people who like all the 3 activities is 8. Okay, come on, do it out. Okay, so that I'll start drawing the Venn diagram and then we will finish it off. Okay. Just waiting for a minute or so. Okay, yeah. So see, there are 100 people, the number of people who like all 3 activities. Okay, so let me simply make a Venn diagram here. See, what are the 3 activities described? Reading, writing, singing. Reading, writing, singing. Okay, right. The number of people who like all 3 activities is 8. Okay, so intersection of all 3 is 8. The number of people who like only reading, that means only this, only reading, not writing, not singing, and not any other thing, only reading. Okay, so only this portion, which is only inside reading, okay, is 12. Number of people who like only singing and writing, 10. Singing and writing, 10. The intersection of singing and writing here, this is 10. Okay, then the number of people who like only singing and reading, is 9. Only singing and reading, okay, singing and reading, 9 here. Only singing and reading but not writing, okay, is 9, right? The number of people who like reading, now number of people, see, there is one statement who says only like reading and now one statement says who like reading. Okay, so when I say like reading, okay, it may like only reading and it may like reading plus something else. Okay, everything within the reading to be taken. Only reading is this portion. Okay, and when I say reading, okay, this total number should be 40. Okay, so already how much it is? 12, 8, 20 plus 9, 29. This has to be 11. Okay, out of 40, I subtract these. What is left is 11 because the sum total here should be 40. The sum total here should be 40. Okay. The number of people who like only singing is 6 less than the number of people who like only writing. Okay, so yeah, only these two are left. Suppose the number of people who like only writing is only writing is X. Okay, number of people who like only singing is 6 less than this. Okay, X minus 6. You can write this as X minus 6. Okay, right. So the number of people who only like reading and writing is what percent more or less than the number of people who only like singing? The number of people who only like reading and writing. Okay, who only like reading and writing. What is reading and writing? Only reading and writing. See, where is this common? 11 is 11. Okay. Now, this is what percent more or less than the number of people who like only singing. Okay, so only singing. Only singing is this one, X minus 6. Now, what is X minus 6? Okay, what is X now? Okay, sum total has to be 100. There are 100 people. Okay, so this itself is 40. Okay, don't add it. This is automatically 40. Okay, plus what? Plus X plus 10 plus X minus 6. This is total 100. Okay, so from this I can write down 2X is equal to 50 gone plus 6, 56. X is equal to 28. X is equal to 28. Okay, so only singing is X minus 6, that is 22. Now, this is how much more or less? Okay, of course, very clearly this is 11 and is 50% of 22. That means 50% less than the above value. Okay, 50% less than the above value. Okay, so answer is B. Okay, less than the number of people. Okay, 50% less than the number of people who like only singing. Only singing 22. Okay, reading and writing 11. Okay, 50% less than 22. Okay, 50% less than 22. Done? Okay, answer is option number B. Okay, yeah. Next question. Number 8. First 9 multiples. Again, a statement based, some basic puzzles question are expected. Now, you cannot put this in any topic. It's something that you have to read and execute. That's the only thing you have to read and execute. First 9 multiples of number 3 are written from left to right. Okay. Now, what are the first 9 multiples of 3? Okay, let us write it from left to right. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 and 24, 27. First 9 multiples are written from left to right. The letters of the word block are written in order against each of the odd number. The letters of the word block are written in order against each of the odd number. Okay, so odd numbers start from here, 3. So I'll write down B, then next odd number L, then O, then C, then K. Okay, the letters of the word block are written against, okay, in order written against each of the odd number. Okay, one letter against one number. There are 2 letters between C and I. Okay, so now C and I, there are 2 letters. Okay, so I cannot be this side. Okay, because this is the last one. So if you need to have 2 letters, 1, 2 and I comes up here. Okay, so that 2 letters are there between C and I. Okay. There are as many letters between I and A as between S and H. Okay. As many letters between I and A as between S and H. Okay, I and A is not there. Same between S and H. S and H are both absent. But see, if I take I and A here, S and H will have many letters in between. I and A here, I and A will have many letters. Okay, see, this is one possibility. Okay, I think there might be possibility. Okay, see, I'm trying it. Okay, number 1 case is as many letters between I and A. Okay, as between S and H. Okay, as between S and H. Okay, but neither S nor A is a multiple of 4. Okay, so multiple of 4. S cannot come up here. So maybe S comes up here and H comes up here. So how many between S and H? 1. How many between I and A is 1. Okay, otherwise I could have also tried this way. Okay, maybe A comes up here. How many between I and A? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let S be here and let me take H here. Let me take, no, this will anyways not follow because A is, neither S nor A is a multiple of 4. Okay, right. So that is very clear now. A cannot be a multiple of 4. So A cannot be here. Okay, so A cannot be here also because I and A will have one letter, S and H will have many letters. So only possibility for A is the first one only. A here, then S and H. S here because S cannot be a multiple of 4 and this is H here. Got it? that little bit brain we have to apply here, while writing down the final thing. Okay, so that is the only place where A can come. Everything is complete. What is the average of the numbers which is against S, A and K? S, A, K. Okay, S, A, K. We have to calculate the average of this. So 18 and then 6 and then 27, and 3 numbers are there, the whole divide by 3. 51 by 3, 17. Option number C, 17 is what is the correct answer. 17 is what is the correct answer. Hope you have got it. Okay. Right. Sometimes you might have to try the combinations. Okay. Yeah. This was another basic puzzle question. Arrangement of letters against numbers. Okay. From arrangements, seating arrangements is also a very common thing, but I have taken it as a different category of question here. 9th. Okay. Right. Picture based, non-verbal reasoning, spatial aptitude. Okay. So basically a coding question, coding on figures. Okay, so there is one particular code given which says rotate 90° clockwise. So you can see each shape has been rotated 90° clockwise. Okay, then there is one particular code which says replace first position with circle. Whatever is first will be replaced with circle. Important point is first was shaded, so circle is shaded. It will be replaced by circle. That means shaded will remain shaded, unshaded should remain unshaded. That is what I think I should deduce here. Now this crosses change the shade. Okay, so circle, this triangle was shaded, now it is unshaded. Upper part shaded, upper unshaded, lower unshade to upper shade, unshade to shade, whatever portion. Okay, just you have to swap the shade. Okay, change the shade. Then this symbol, swap the shade first and third position. Okay, so see, shade and unshade, unshade and shade. First and third, you have to swap the shade. Now, there is some original figure which is missing and 3 consecutive operations have been applied to it. 3 consecutive operations have been applied to it. This is the resultant figure. Okay, what can be the original figure? What replaces the question mark? Okay, a basic logic you have to apply to solve this question. Now see, what can be the logic? Definitely this is there. Okay, and this is replaced first with circle. That is why in the first place circle is coming. Okay, that is why the first place circle is coming. Okay, so what will I do is, okay, if the operation is without 2, okay, I'll call it as 1, 2 and 3. Okay, I'll call this as 1, this as 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Let me call it this way. So without 2, how the picture will be? If I undo this operation, if I undo only 2, okay, so what I can say is the first one is unknown, the second is circle, because what is the second operation? Replace whatever the first with circle. Now the replaced position is circle. What was the original? Unknown, because whatever was the original has been replaced by circle. Okay, then next you have the shaded circle, and then next again this shaded picture. Okay, but yeah, the circle is unshaded, so this also has to be unshaded. This question mark, whatever is unshaded question mark. Okay, then okay, what is this? Okay, if I remove the first operation is swap the shape of first and third. If this was not done, now without 2, step by step I am explaining you. If it is without this one, okay, 1 means swap the shade of first and third. Now you see third is shaded. Okay, so if I swap it again, or if I unswap it, I mean reverse it. Okay, so question mark was unshaded, the question mark actually should be shaded, second as it is, and third should be unshaded. Okay, without 1. Okay, so now I have decoded 2. Without 3, now what is 3? This first one, rotate 90° clockwise. Okay, so without this 3. Okay, 3 says rotate 90° clockwise, so if I have to undo it, okay, 90° anti-clockwise, if you have to undo. Okay, so I don't know anyways what is the first one, so I cannot rotate, but this is some shaded picture. Circle, even if you rotate, you don't see any change, and this is rotated 90° anti-clockwise. Okay, so what should be there? Now you see, okay, this one, okay, circle at the center is shaded. Okay, this is unshaded, and the first, whatever the first picture has to be shaded. Okay, the first picture has to be shaded. Okay, the first picture has to be shaded. This leads to option number C. Okay, that is also important. Maybe possibly they can make one option as another triangle which is unshaded, but that is also important. The first one, the question mark, whatever the shape it is, it has to be shaded. Okay, right. That is what is important here. Okay, right. So this thoughtful question for 2 marks. Okay, all right. Next one, number 10. Okay. Coming up here, number 10, geometry, mensuration, very expected area. Almost every year, every branch, they are asking it. In the given figure, AB equal to, okay, AB, this is some chord given, is 8 root 3. Radius of the circle is 8 centimeter. This PA is parallel to OC, okay, and this PB is parallel to OD, okay. So PA and PB are both tangents, they are parallel, okay, with point O being the center of the circle. Then what is the angle COD? Okay, now see, one thing that is very clear here is this PA is parallel to OC. At the same time, PB is parallel to OD. Okay, this PA, of course, the tangent, I don't think it's going to be required, but two tangents drawn to a circle from a common external point, they are always equal. Okay, so PA will be equal to PB. Okay, now you see here, these two are parallel, these two are parallel. So what is the picture? The question is, find the angle COD. This is what is the question. Find the angle COD. Suppose this angle COD is theta, and that is what is the question. Okay, but because PA and see how the picture is coming, if you see it clearly, OC and PA is parallel. Okay, OD and PB are parallel. That means because these two pairs are parallel, so this much of the angle and this much of the angle is same only, na? Okay, because of both lines being parallel, so these two angles are same only. So I will call this angle also as theta. Okay, and then the tangent to the circle at any point, okay, one important tangent result. Tangent at any point is always perpendicular to the radial line at that point. Okay, that means this tangent, suppose I talk about PA first. This tangent PA from P to A will be perpendicular to the radial line. Now, radial line means the line joining the center to this point of contact of tangent. Okay, that is OA. Okay, so it is perpendicular to OA, and the PB tangent will be perpendicular to its radial line. What is its radial line? That is going to be OB. Okay, from the center to the B. Okay, so these two are perpendicular. Okay, that means 90 degree. This is 90, this is 90. Okay, so let me come inside the triangle, inside the circle. So how much will be this angle? How much will be this angle? Okay, right. Suppose this is some angle X. Okay, so this one PAOB actually makes a quadrilateral. Yes. If you think you are going to get the answer, as I have always suggested, pause the video and get your answer. Okay, this PAOB is a quadrilateral. Okay, is a quadrilateral. Okay, so the sum of the angle of the quadrilateral, theta, 90 plus this X is 360. Okay, what is the value of X? 180 minus theta. So I know this also. This is 180 minus theta. Okay, 180 minus this theta. Okay, now let us see whether this is required or not. Okay, yeah, this is 180 minus theta. So let me take this triangle ABO. Okay, let me separate this anyways. Let us take this triangle separately, dear. What triangle? This is O, and this is the chord AB. O, and this is the chord AB. Okay. Now, out of which this angle, okay, is 180 minus theta. This is what I have told you. This angle is 180 minus theta. Now, because O is the center, if I drop a perpendicular, okay, from the center to any chord, perpendicular from center to a chord will always bisect the chord. Okay, it bisects the chord. So, what is the length of the chord AB given? AB has been given as 8 root 3. So, how much will be this? Suppose this is some point C. Okay, now C is already used. Okay, this is some point, suppose P. So, this will be 4 root 3. This also will be 4 root 3. Okay, this A to P and this B to P will be equal to 8 root 3 by 2 divided by 2. Okay, so I have written 4 root 3. Okay, then OA is equal to OB because both are the radius. Na? O is the center. So from O to A, O to B, both are radius, and radius is given as 8. Okay, now because these two are equal, these two lines of a triangle are equal, the opposite angles are also equal. Suppose this angle is phi, this will also be phi. Okay, this will be phi. So now I can say that the sum of the angles of this triangle, phi plus how much is this angle? 180 minus theta. Okay, plus 180 minus theta. This is total 180. So 180 cancel. That means theta should be 2 phi. So if I calculate phi, theta will come. My question is theta actually. Okay, so what is the value of phi? Now a simple logic. To calculate phi, take the cosine of phi. Okay, because base is known to me, 4 root 3. Hypotenuse, base upon hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? That is the radius. Okay, that is 8. Okay, so this becomes root 3 by 2, and root 3 by 2 is cos 30 degree. Okay, so phi has to be 30 degree. Okay, so theta twice of phi, 60 degree. Good question. Good question. Basic geometry is required. I won't say very complicated, but yeah, you have to be clear with geometry rules. So it's a good question. Okay, if you are clear with geometry rules, and especially be very clear about the questions around circles, triangles, and tangents, the results and theorems, okay, must be known to you. Okay, around the circles, the tangents, as well as the triangles. Okay, fine, dear. 10 questions done. Okay. What you are now required here, evaluate your marks, check how much you scored, and put your marks in the comment box so that it creates a sense of competition in the comment box. Don't hesitate, don't worry. See, if you scored good, it will give you confidence. If you scored low, it will give you a message that yes, you need to prepare, because what I'm telling you, this 15 marks, okay, is huge. Okay, if you could not conquer right now, okay, there is time. For that reason, I have taken it this session earlier, not 1 or 2 days before the gate. Okay, I have taken it. Okay, almost 3 months are there. Okay, or at least if not 3, 2.5 months are there. Okay, you have enough time. If you failed, you have already scored good. Okay, don't worry, you focus more on technical then. But if you have not scored good, you can focus here, because little bit focus on this subject can maximize your marks. That is what. Okay, that is what makes this subject important. High weightage can be captured with low effort. Okay, because effort to study technical is definitely much more. You also understand. Okay, so that is what. Okay, so place your marks in the comment box. Okay, evaluate right now. If you have time, evaluate later and put it in the comment box and see how others scored and what you scored. Okay, don't worry, good or bad, anything is okay. I'm telling you at this point of time, good or bad. Good is confidence, bad is a message. Both are equally okay. In fact, message at the right time is more better rather than getting that message at the end time. Okay, so yes. Guys, if you are, willing to have a quick revision of GATE 26, as I told you, time is very close. Okay, so, quick revision of all key concepts with important problem solving capability, analytical cells, logic, techniques to solve the problems quickly. Okay, all that will be covered in the online class course launched by OM Institute for GATE 2026. This is a recorded course. Okay, the fee is 8,500. Okay, the fee is 8,500. So, you can go for this recorded course and you can contact our support numbers 95156 94053. Okay, to grab, to enroll to the course and grab some offers. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's it. So, I again repeat, do not hesitate to mention your marks. Okay, do not hesitate to mention your marks. If you want, I'll share this PDF in my Telegram. Okay. So yeah, I'll share it without any password only. What is there? Okay, so that's it. This is the link of my Telegram. Okay, you can be connected in my Telegrams. I shall share the PDF. Okay, hope you scored well. If not well, if you hope you got the message, what you need to do. Okay, you can correct yourself, because you have to maximize your marks in the GATE examination. All the very best for your remaining GATE exam journey. Do well. Okay, and yes, thank you.